Hello everybody, Red and Gearhead here. What we're looking at is the front suspension of a Buick Rainier slash GMC Envoy slash Chevy Trailblazer that has the all-wheel drive option. And my wife's car, it's a Buick Rainier, and the upper bushings on this wishbone, upper control arm, whatever you want to call it, wore out. It's giving us problems, and so I ordered from rockauto.com some AC Delco replacement upper arms, and this is really a simple repair, suspension repair for the most part. And looks like it's easy access, but there are some problems in that getting to the bolt, getting to the bolts, access to the bolts is easy, but it's getting the bolts out. There's some sheet metal right in here that keep you from screwing the bolt out, and on this side is able to wiggle things around enough that it made it through, was able to get the bolt out. But on this side, this is the driver's side of the car, forward is to your left. The battery box has a reinforcing plate. What I ended up having to do was get up underneath this lip right here and bending that sheet metal out a little bit, plus a little bit of indentation. I'm sorry, I'm having to manually focus. And look, at my bifocals are the same. So I had to make that little indentation there to get the bolt out. So you got to bend this out a little ways and then do something about getting around this lip. I almost cut it back. I didn't want to remove the metal. So the other slick thing is the ball joint here. This is a real easy ball joint to deal with. Just this bolt right here interacts with a slot or a groove cut around this shaft. So when you put the bolt through, the bolt goes through that groove on the shaft, and you just tighten down this bolt real good, and that's what holds the ball joint together. And it's real easy, and it's extremely easy. Should be if you got the right kind of puller to replace this ball joint, which I'm going to have to do because the rubber around here is cracked, so it's doomed. But I always love it when they give you a torque spec, and you can't get, there's no way in God's green earth to get a torque wrench on there. I guess you could get it on with a crow's foot, but you're supposed to tighten these bolts down to 108 foot-pounds. I haven't looked this up yet. It's probably pretty healthy, 50, 60 foot-pounds. But the other thing about removing and replacing this is you have to get the wishbone control arm up into position that it's normally going to be before you tighten these bolts down, because that bolt cinches in on the rubber, and so that rubber is flexing as the car goes through its motions. If you let the suspension down in the full rest position and then tighten that up, it's going to twist that rubber in there, stress it, and it's going to be ruined within months, if not weeks. I was looking online, somebody had written a bad review about the Dorman version of this, and that it only lasted him 8 months. I'll bet you a paycheck that the guy put the torque down, torqued these bolts when the suspension was in the full droop position. So don't do that. What I do is I put the jack up underneath the disc brake. And of course, you need to have a jack stand, and I lift up on the disc here until the car just starts to start coming off the jack stand, and that means the full weight's on the wheel, and then you can go ahead and tighten down on these bolts up here, or you will be back doing it again within a short period of time. And let's come up here. Got the battery box, and let's see. Oh, there we go. You can see the bend in the lip there, and behind it is the bolt. And if that bolt, if you unbolt that bolt straight out, it whacks into that lip there, and you can't get the bolt out. So you'll have to do a little massaging. It's not that big a deal. You can use your foot, push it back when you're through. So upper A-frame, easy thing to do, not too bad. When I do the ball joint, I'll try to post something also. Have a good day.